All right, welcome in once again to the Coach Mark Schmidt Show, presented by Peruzzi, Buick, GMC, as well as Aria Health, your hospital in Lower Bucks County. Week 6 after a huge win over Aria. We're going to talk a little bit about that 48-13 victory over in Levittown. Preparing for another game this Friday against Council Rock North. Before we do that, we'll talk about the game against the Tigers. Elongated game at first, a little extended halftime due to lightning in the area.
That was the first.
Yeah. First for me as well, but all around, you guys took advantage of things. Poor special teams on Truman's standpoint for a majority of the game. Short field position, and you guys executed, I thought, very well, given that, at times in the game.
Yeah, I was happy with our players' performance. We did both sides of the ball. They're very dangerous with that option. They're running it very well. They were getting some positive yards against everybody they were playing, and really, they were moving the ball well, and I was real happy with the way our guys on defense got after it. We had a good scheme, good plan, and I think we kind of forced one or two of those issues on the special teams with having a real good plan for their punt game. I mean, they faked 4 or 5 punts. The guy does the rugby game, and we really kind of, Neil French put in a real nice plan for that, and our guys did a great job of hemming it in and making this guy force a couple bad kicks. And their kickoff, our kick return team, I thought was solid. We did a nice job. They tried to surprise on sides. We snagged that and gave us a short field, but then they kicked one deep, and we were able to tilt the field with a good return finally. So, all in all, when we worked on those things this week, I'm trying to improve on that. And credit to our guys for coming back after 2 tough weeks and going over there and playing. And we're pretty gunned up at halftime, very excited. Coaches got after the guys a little bit because we thought we got a little sloppy there towards the end of the half, and we were ready to go out the door, and then all of a sudden we have this lightning issue. And to our guys' credit, they just kind of relaxed for a half hour, 45 minutes, and then we went back out and picked up where we left off. So I was very proud of all that, that mental approach, and hopefully we can build on that and start the second half of the season in the right way.
You mentioned that even more important than the win could be the mental aspect of that victory, because you go in up at halftime 35-7. It's easy to get complacent.
Sure.
Now you add in an extra half an hour halftime. It's even easier.
Right.
But you guys came out in the second half, the first play, and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean that was good. Good execution, and play was there. And Nate Hall was, I thought in the first couple of weeks I think he was trying to look for too much, and we kind of been working, and this week he really kind of had a great week of practice, as did a bunch of other guys, and I think it paid off with our execution and the way we limited his cuts and limited his reads and tried to do some things there, and put the ball down the field a couple times with a couple different people, and trying to stretch some coverages and let people kind of play our field instead of just pack it in a little, and so that part of it, I think we were able to, get off to a good start.
We'll stick to the offensive side of the ball. We mentioned Hugh and Justin and Nate Hall week in and week out, but this week, at least in my mind, the real star is the offensive line.
Yeah.
I thought you guys did a great job of opening holes on the right and left side, and giving Nate, a lot of running room.
Yeah. Well, I thought all the backs had some nice areas there to run the ball. Devin hit a couple good ones, and even our younger guys did some nice things. But yes, the O-line did a good job. We had them going a little bit. We had a good plan. They were playing people pretty tough, and it's a front that we're familiar with, and we're able to kind of come after people. And I was real happy to see a couple of our guys really just play better and more consistent and finish the blocks and create those windows that we had. They hadn't been there for a couple games at times. And so looking at the film like I did on Friday night and Saturday morning with the team, I was real happy to see that everybody just kind of was pretty sharp. And that was that's a good start. Hopefully that's a good start, good sign.
And the last 2 weeks with these losses with Satterton and William Tennant, your line, you could argue, took some credit, I should say, to that, because you weren't running the football as well as you were the first 2 weeks. Did they play with more of an edge against Truman?
I think so. What disappointed us, I thought we had some nice. I thought they played pretty solid against Tennant. I really did, and I don't think the backs took advantage. And we really, we took a step back. We brought them in. We coached them up. We showed them some things that some reads and such, and we worked on that all week long. We worked on reading those blocks. We were getting into that second level and we weren't taking advantage. And, and I think Nate was the guy that probably took most of the brunt of that. And, give him credit. He sat in there and watched it, and then he was able to really, the things we were hoping he would do, he saw those cuts, and he kept his shoulders square, and and he's not the biggest guy, but he's a hard guy to get a hat on when he gets his pads low and gets going. And that's what he did this week. And he got positive yards when he got tackled. He made one miss and was able to really get down the field. So, and then Devin did the same thing, and then Matt Maggs and DeAndre Pollard are two young guys that I think I'm excited about. So, hey, it was a nice team effort.
It's the last question on the offensive side of the ball. You see it in college and in pro, the fullback position is almost invisible.
Yeah.
But here at Heartbreak Ridge, you really do utilize it. And whether it's Denny Lord or Blake Sullivan or Fox or majority of the guys, how important is that to your offense?
It is. For what we do, it's important. I mean, a lot of people with the spread and all that kind of stuff, they utilize different types of people. We don't really, we didn't have that many guys. The wide receiving core is kind of shifted a little bit. We've got two solid fullbacks. Actually, we feel like we have three. We haven't used Brian Toll yet because we haven't had to. Denny and Blake are two big, strong, junior, athletic football players. And, that and our tight end positions are two areas that we've always kind of prided ourselves at our place. And it's allowed us, we've been able to spread some things, but if we have those two guys, those two positions where we feel pretty good, I think we can create some things. And they both can catch the ball well, they run well with it, and they really have improved on their blocking this season. So, yeah.
Good. Now, defensively, a big win against Truman, once again, 48-13. I was texting with Neil French over the weekend, and he seemed very excited by the way his defense played, and I'm assuming you would agree as well. It was a strong performance.
No doubt. I mean, we really, the big difference was the frustration from the coaches that was basically delivered to the players was the fact that if they did what they were supposed to do, they're good enough. The results, our record wouldn't be what it is right now, and that's defensively and offensively too. But I know we're talking defense, and in the last two games, if we'd have done what we were, what we were capable of doing, instead of taking ourselves out of our games and doing what we're not supposed to do, and opening up those big plays, that was a big worry with Truman because they can hit those plays so quick, and the fullback was very aggressive, and those guys on the perimeter could run. But they really played their gap assignments. They played low on the line of scrimmage and didn't create push and really created, let those linebackers flow downhill and make tackles. And our D-line was able to really do a nice job on the perimeter. And, and our secondary guys did a great job in coverage. So it was a nice team game. And in order for us to have any kind of success the second half of the season, we've got to build on that. We've got a team coming in here right now that wants to go sideline to sideline and creative quarterback, and so our defense really has to use this game as a stepping stone to playing like they're supposed to.
Cole Creighton was your leading tackler coming back this year, and that worried a lot of people because usually you don't want your safety leading tackler. I think the good job you guys have been doing is keep backs at bay, especially against Truman. They had a lot of athletes to that kind of first wave of defenders.
Right.
And what do you guys credit that to? Is the D line, the linebackers, they all seem to be very active.
It's like we said. I mean, if we play our technique and we're some guy like a guy like Nicholas and those kind of guys, and if he stands straight up, he's just not big enough to stay on a line of scrimmage. But tonight was his best game, and that Friday he went through those guys' kneecaps and was getting up in those gaps and keeping everybody on the line of scrimmage and allowing people to just kind of fill. And when they didn't block him, then he was making the plays. And then that's where we have some things going. I mean, Darrell Kennedy played great. Ian Waterberg, both those guys stepped in at the D tackle position because of their big kid that they had in there. And both our ends did a real nice job. Luke and Alex McKenzie. So I mean, they really played well, and that it's good to see. And now it's like now you kind of smack them on the back and say, yo, this is what we want, this is what we expect, dude. Let's get back to where we belong here. And I think hopefully that can happen.
So last question before we start talking about Council Rock North. A guy that really emerged last week, and maybe we'll see more of, maybe that Alex Nicholas, who shows up late in the season,
Sure.
was Brian Toll. Had a huge game against Truman, almost I think 8 or 9 tackles solo. What do you credit to his performance last week?
Brian's a good player. Brian is is an absolute perfect example of a kid that just sometimes gets in trouble because he tries too hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he does. I mean, we've got great kids on our team, as great young men that really care about each other, and they're guilty of doing too much. They're guilty of thinking too much. They're guilty of, getting too zoned in as opposed to just kind of getting out there and playing. Brian was able to really scrape and fill, and he did his job very well, and he's a physical young kid, and he can come up in there and hit you, and he did those things, and those guys really, I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he had a good game, and I'd like to see more guys make those kind of plays.
Last question. You're a little over the quarter point of the year. After a big win against Truman, where are you guys? Do you think as a team? They say they rank or gather information in quarterly situations in football. Where do you think you guys at right now?
Well, we sat down right now and we kind of gave ourselves a grade as a team on Saturday, like a midterm grade, and we were in the C plus B, low B minus C, I think more C plus range, and disappointed with that because we realized that we're better than that. Mm-hmm. We do. We realized we're a lot better than that, but there's nothing we can do about it. And the good news is we've got 5 more games that we can do something about. And our attitude was great. We had a good workout yesterday, and the kids were on here on Saturday and getting some work done. And we're ready for the next challenge.
The next challenge will be Council Rock North here at Heartbreak Ridge. It is homecoming, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that as well. Coming up in the next segment here. Council Rock North in the Chamonix, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock on WBCB as well as WBCB1490.com. You get the whole station to your cell phone.
Do we really?
Yes, you do.
Oh, man.
So it should be fun.
Hope we don't screw it up.
No, you'll be fine. Take a short break, come back, and talk more to Coach Mark Schmidt from the Coach Mark Schmidt Show, presented by Peruzzi Buick GMC as well as Aria Health. We'll be right back.
Tom from Mooresville says that Aria Health's emergency department saved his life. Recently, while playing golf, Tom experienced cardiac arrest and the ambulance took him to Aria Health Bucks County campus, where Dr. Emmerich and his team of doctors and nurses took fast action and literally brought Tom back to life. Dr. Emmerich visited Tom frequently, answered all his questions, even gave him his phone number. Led by Dr. Harry Emmerich, the emergency department at Aria Health Bucks County provides 24/7 care in a leading-edge environment. To learn more about Tom's story at Aria Health Bucks County, visit ariahealth.org/Tom. That's ariahealth.org/Tom.
Hi, this is Larry at Peruzzi Buick GMC. You'll hit a home run every weekend at Peruzzi Buick GMC Service Department. Every Saturday and Sunday, Peruzzi Buick GMC is offering a standard oil and filter change for just $19.95. And remember, Peruzzi Buick GMC is open every Sunday from 8 to 5. Peruzzi Buick GMC is the home of the 3495 Pennsylvania State and Emissions Inspection every day of the week. No matter where you purchase your car or truck, you can get it serviced 7 days a week at Peruzzi Buick GMC. And remember, we're open Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
All right, welcome back into the Coach Mark Schmidt Show, presented once again by Aria Health, your hospital in Lower Bucks County, as well as Peruzzi Buick GMC. We are about almost halfway through the season, and this is where you get the meat of the schedule coming up. You got 2 huge games against those Council Rock opponents, and the first one, Council Rock North, may be a little more special because of the game last year, a 17-14 loss to the Indians in the final seconds. Very similar fashion to the William Tennant game in a sense. I'm assuming it's homecoming. You guys are going to be pumped and out ready to go here at Heartbreak Ridge on Friday.
Well, you're right. I mean, it's a little bit like Groundhog Day.
Sure.
Kind of, and credit Council Rock for having a good plan on defense and then going down there offensively and at the end of the game and put that ball in. And it certainly was a punch in the mouth for us. And but I think we've learned from it. I think it made us a better team, and I think hopefully this Tennant game made us a better team.
Right.
Made us wise up. But we better have our act together. They're very good. They play tough defense. A lot of those guys are back. They got a little bigger. They got a very physical front. Their secondary's tough. Really like their free safety Devine. He killed us last year, and very aggressive player there. And offensively, they really try to get the ball out a lot. The quarterback, this young guy, is really talented, and he's got a couple weapons there that are some of the better ones in the league, and he mixes it up well. And then when he doesn't like it, he just tucks it and goes. And he's very creative and a hard runner. And then the thing is, if you miss him when on a pass play and he scrambles, I think that's when he's most dangerous. Sure. Because he really creates and he throws on the run. And the receivers stay active, and he's made 2 or 3 touchdown passes off of scrambles. And I mean, they were just shots. And so he's got a heck of a future. I'm not real happy that he's a ninth grader. And it's a testimony to our league and to the type of players we have in it. And he's certainly one of those guys that's certainly an up and comer. They've got the guy going to Penn State. They've got 2 or 3 other guys that are college level players, and I think this is his team he's real excited about, and we're ready for the rematch.
The last few weeks we mentioned a lot of pressure would be through the middle, whether it was at Saturday or against Truman. They had some big, imposing nose tackles and sorts. This week you may see more off the edge. You mentioned the defensive end going to Penn State and whatnot. I'm sure it's been different for you to kind of prepare because you've been kind of preparing as far as pressure up the middle, and now it's been off the edge a little more. What are you guys been doing maybe differently to kind of prepare for that?
Well, you look at what we have in our packages. You look at what we can maybe do to change some things and make a wrinkle or two happen to utilize his aggressiveness or his speed and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of things you can. That's the fun part about coaching football. I mean, and now we went from option to spread, and then wing tee and double tight veer option. I mean, it's challenging. It's fun, and you want to go against good players. Right. You don't want to go out there and plow the road too much. You want to go out there and have these kind of games where you can play a little cat and mouse, and you can have a plan and do some things and count on your guys to step up and make plays. And we haven't made an issue of one guy because we need to, except really obviously this quarterback because he's a focal point offensively, but defensively we just got to get our hats on people, and we've got to make sure that we keep these blocks like we did last week. And if we do that, create some seams, I certainly think we have some things we can do.
You guys have had back-to-back road games. You haven't been home since that loss this Saturday. Now you're coming home.
Yeah, I want to thank you for that because in our pre-season show, you jinxed us with our home record and our win streak.
You know what?
Stuff.
I knew.
And I told you that back then. So this the TV show thing,
it's
the pre-season show thing. You got me all screwed up, dude. Let me just stay in my cave and leave me alone. All right? Seriously.
I will do that.
All this stuff here is kind of driving me a little crazy.
From January to August.
I'm a very superstitious guy.
I know
you
are.
Golfer.
I know you are.
Never missed a putt. Hey, missed a damn putt. That's exactly what they said in the Ryder Cup. This guy he's money. He missed the putt.
Sure,
all right, and then they lose. So I really want to appreciate you.
It's our pleasure.
Giving us that's nice. Your pleasure.
We try to bring things to life.
Nice. Look, you can have your T-shirt and hat back as long as I got that win. Okay, I'll give you everything. You can have my car. All right, seriously,
it's
dude.
a beautiful car, by the way.
You're ticking me off, Matt. I'm not liking all this. You're jinxing us with all this crap. There's nothing to jinx anymore because we've gotten beat and all that stuff. We're 3-2, and you're a real box of chocolates, pal.
I know that.
Having a blast.
I know that.
Right.
Homecoming this weekend and whatnot. It's gonna be fun for you guys.
Well, look, it's at our place. It's an event no matter what. I mean, the Souderton game was our only home game so far, and it was standing room only. It was a great night, and the only thing that wasn't good was the way we played. But our atmosphere at our place at the Chamonix is terrific, and the team comes out, the community comes out, and it's nice to seeing the guys coming back. Okay. We get a pretty good steady flow of guys coming back throughout the season anyway. Last week was the Hall of Fame stuff, so even though we were away, so we had a bunch of guys back in town. It was nice to see them. So it's always great to catch up with guys that have been ex-players and part of the family. So that's really cool.
It's only Tuesday, obviously the game is Friday, but have you noticed this week, after, again, we mentioned the outcome last year, you guys are a little more urgent, your players and whatnot, at this time of the year, or is it?
I don't think these guys need any more pressure.
No.
I think they put enough on themselves. I do.
Sure.
And I think what we need to do is just have our plan, stick to it, and have these guys just relaxed and prepared. I mean, I was very happy with their attitude last week. Our preparation. We did change a few things in our pregame kind of preparation. We didn't leave as early, and we kind of got halfway, got our pants on, and just kind of got there, got our gear on, and went. As opposed to kind of getting there early and getting dressed and such. I think it just kind of, it just was it was a change that we made, and it was very successful for us. I thought we just were able to just stay in the flow, and I kind of reminded them of that's not the case now. Now they get to go home and come back, and last time they really didn't come back ready to go. When they get back here, it's 2 hours, ahead of when they usually we get ready. So, they needed to come in that door with their mind on their business, and I let them know that yesterday. I'm gonna let them know it today, tomorrow, and Thursday. So that is something we're gonna make an adjustment on.
Well, we shall see what happens Friday. Good news for Coach Schmidt after a win. I'm not even gonna do the 3 questions. We're taking a week off.
No questions at all.
None. Unless you want them.
No, what?
I knew that.
You've already asked me all the superstitions, the movie, the book, that is.
I know. I got plenty more.
What you do?
I have more coming.
Well,
I have a lot, and I'm gathering more info as time goes.
Gather all you want. All right,
got a lot of spies out there.
Any more of those, zingers you give me?
I won't.
All right,
done.
There's going to be somebody else sitting here.
I don't want that. I want that. I'm having too much fun here.
We'll get Dave Ferrer in here.
Oh, he was great on the Coach's Roundtable. He'll love that. I might get him Dave Ferrer in here. It's a good idea.
Even better. No, you can have him. You want him?
No.
You got him. Tuesday. He's in.
We already have rapport, so I can't do that. I can't.
It's a very overhyped word. Thanks, man. Jeez, rapport. We have rapport.
Oh man, we better cut this off before something else happens. So I want to thank Coach Mark Schmidt for coming on weekly. Do appreciate it. Aria Health, Peruzzi, Buick, GMC, and everyone else. Kickoff at 7 o'clock on WBCB as well as WBCB 1490.com. For Matt Miro from BCB, Coach Mark Schmidt. Take care. Have a good week.
Thank you.